Hello, Anomaly here, and welcome to another Quick Bites video. Today, we're going to be talking about soothing mist. All right, let's jump right in. We're, of course, going to do our little bit of a quick tooltip overview, kind of read that to you guys. We'll go into how soothing mist works, and then finally, touch a little bit on when or why you would use it in certain situations. Started. First up, of course, the tooltip, real quick. Essentially, Soothing Mist is a channeled spell for Mistweavers, and basically what it does is it heals the target for about 440% spell power over 8 seconds. And while you're channeling it, Enveloping Mist, Surging Mist, which is a PvP talent, and Vivify may be cast instantly on the target. Also, there is a chance that each heal may trigger Gusts of Mist or Mastery. So let's get into it. Now, a lot of people may not understand truly how Soothing Mist works. So first up, how does Soothing Mist trigger our mastery? Essentially, it is a deck system. Think about it like this. You have an 8-card deck with 7 cards, and maybe you're just numbers, 1 through 7, and your 8th card is an ace. And what you do is you basically flip those cards over one at a time, each time Soothing Mist heals, and whenever you land on an ace, that is when Gust of Mist is triggered. When you go through all 8, you then reshuffle the deck and go again. But if you do cancel, say, your channel early, the deck does not reset itself. So again, it's every 8 heals from the deck system is 8 long, and every 8 heals from Soothing Mist, one of those 8 will trigger Gust of Mist. You kind of just flip through cards. When you get to the end, shuffle up. It does not matter if you heal for 3 ticks on one Soothing Mist and 5 on the next. That's still one continuous 8-card shuffle or 8-card deal. So that's essentially how it works. And it goes until all 8 cards are dealt. So you could trigger it on the first card or the first heal. You could trigger it on the last one or the last heal. So just keep that in mind. That is how Soothing Mist ticks work in terms of triggering mastery. Soothing Mist also has a secondary property where it allows some of your other spells to basically be cast without their typical cast times. So it reduces their cast times to essentially 0. And those casts are, of course, Vivify, Enveloping Mist, and Surging Mist. Basically, all have their cast times reduced when you're channeling Soothing Mist and you target the player of your Soothing Mist with one of these 3 spells. Again, Surging Mist is the PvP talent. So the question we always get is, do you always channel Soothing Mist before casting any of the 3 above spells? Because essentially, you do remove the cast time. So you would think casting Soothing Mist and then casting this spell would be quicker, right? Well, it's not always quicker. So let's do it with a quick visual. Down here, we have, of course, an example with Soothing Mist and Vivify. So we have our nice little timeline, 1 to 3 seconds, or 0 to 3 seconds, I'm sorry. We start our Soothing Mist channel, our Soothing Mist cast here. Remember, this does have a 1-second GCD. And as a note, we will be doing all of this at 0% haste. Haste, of course, does reduce cast times. It reduces the GCD. We're going to do this at 0 haste, but you can extrapolate out no matter what the haste level. A lot of this will remain true. Or all of this will remain true. So you have your Soothing Mist cast. You start it in 0 seconds. It triggers a 1-second GCD before you can take your next action. The next action is to hit Vivify. And then you Vivify. You heal the target. But then you're left with a 1.5-second GCD, which means you have to wait until essentially 2.5 seconds after you started your Soothing Mist channel to take your next action. So it is a fairly long time. 2.5 seconds of, hitting Soothing Mist, getting one Vivify cast off. There's a lot of time there. So keep that in mind. So what if we contrast that with just hard casting Vivify? Well, if you hard cast Vivify, Vivify is a 1.5 second base cast time. Essentially, you can start the cast at 0 seconds. It will be done 1.5 seconds later, and then you can get on to your next cast, a full second earlier than if you started a Soothing Mist channel beforehand. So please sort of keep that in mind as you look at this, is like, while Soothing Mist does reduce the cast time, it does not remove the GCD component. We can take a second example here, this time with Enveloping Mist, just to sort of give you a pros and cons. And of course, we start with our Soothing Mist cast in the first example. That gives us that 1-second GCD before we can take our next action. We then trigger our Enveloping Mist cast, and we're left with a 1.5-second GCD until we can take our next action, 2.5 seconds after we start. So pretty much exactly how Vivify works, except now we're talking about Enveloping Mist. We contrast that with hard casting Enveloping Mist, where basically a hard casting Enveloping Mist has a 2-second cast time. So we're left with about a half a second difference, much smaller, and potentially you may want to start this with Soothing Mist, because we're generally only casting Enveloping when we have to heal a target multiple times. Hit them with an enveloping, buff the rest of our heals as we pump into that target. One caveat, of course, is when we have our celestials out, we want to sort of cast enveloping around the raid. So you probably will end up hard casting in a lot of cases there. However, as you can see, if we're trying to heal up one target, casting Soothing Mist, then Enveloping Mist makes sense because we get the heals out maybe just a little bit longer, but then we have the extra healing from Soothing, the extra, instant cast or zero cast time spells from Vivify to follow up that Enveloping. So that's really how it breaks down in terms of GCD usage, cast times, and things like that. And while you don't always want to channel Soothing before you cast, Vivify or Enveloping Mist. Now, when would you actually use Soothing Mist? I sort of already touched on that. It's when a single target needs multiple heals. We can think about this as a tank taking a lot of, damage. Maybe it's from a combo from a boss, or they're just taking a lot of damage and sort of a larger pull of Mythic Plus. You want to channel a bunch of healing in them. Use Soothing Mist, use Enveloping, use Vivify sort of to pump as much healing in. You could also do this similarly with a target or player that may just get a large dot on them or debuff on them. You'd want to sort of pump a lot of single target heals into that character, into that player. That's generally when you're going to use Soothing Mist to sort of just heal single target a lot of times. You'll see it in Sun King from Castle Nathria, right? You want to use Soothing Mist when you're channeling on Sun King. So those sort of instances where you just need a lot of single target healing. You could also use it to swap Jade Serpent statue targets. Maybe somebody has a light amount of damage, there's a light ticking damage off, and you want to sort of just take care of somebody for about 8 seconds. You can quickly swap Soothing Mist to that target and then do something else. It only triggers a 1 second GCD at the start, but it will move your Jade Serpent statue sort of around in terms of who's it's targeting. Those are really the two big uses for Soothing Mist. It's not a very complex spell. You're going to use it in really only some niche situations, but just keep that in mind. In any event, that's our video for the day. If you did enjoy it, if you liked it, please let me know. If there's other spells or abilities you wanted me to cover, leave them in the comments or over to the Pika Serenity Discord, and we'll talk to you later, guys. Bye.